Martin Lee Anderson, Sean Bell, Tremendous Davis. When we do not have a regard for our own life, these are the types of situations that occur in our community. But it ain't just the government, y'all. We ain't gonna just bash the police. I want to talk about how we ain't valuing ourselves, how we've lost respect for our own lives. Well, what you talking about, Fox? Well, you know, anytime a brother gets a sister pregnant and tell her she needs to have an abortion, that's a loss of respect for life. Yes. Oh, I know I'm getting a little heavy up in here. I know I'm getting a little heavy. Don't y'all put me out just yet. When we have unprotected sex, and we know that AIDS is infecting more of our black women than any other race of people right now, we are showing a loss of respect for our lives. Somebody gonna help me out. When we look at capital punishment, that's a loss of respect for life. When we look at deadly force by police officer, it's all a show of disrespect for life. When you do not continue your college education so that you can provide a better quality of life for yourself and your family, you're showing a loss of respect for your gift of life. Well, why you say that, Fox? Because statistics have shown that with your college education, you automatically start off making $15,000 to $25,000 more than somebody with a high school diploma. When you do not advance yourself so that you do not have to live in a capitalistic society without capital, you are showing a loss of respect for life. When we treat each other unloving and unkind, when we won't help our brother man, we are showing a loss of respect for life. Well, what's important about us showing a respect for life? When we love ourselves, great ones, it's just certain shit we ain't gonna do. Let me give you an example. Can I tell you about how I lost respect for my own life? Can I share my story with you? Yes. I mean, y'all ain't gonna judge me, are you? Can I speak freely here? Y'all gonna help me out? 11 years ago almost, my husband and I were facing financial difficulties. We were in the midst of opening our first business. The investor that we had for our business pulled out on us 6 weeks before our opening date. We panicked. We needed $50,000 to get this business open. Where you get $50,000 from? Yeah, anybody in here know where you can get 50 grand from? That's what we thought too, the bank. That's the only place I knew had it. Ain't my cousins, them didn't have it. And my mama ain't have it. My friends, ain't none of them have it. And the bank wouldn't loan it to me, so you know. We thought we needed to do what we quote unquote had to do. September 16, 1997, my husband and I robbed a bank. We ended up facing 297 years in prison. Can y'all count that high? See, I know how it feels when you are actually forced to lay still and think about the value of your gift of life. I laid there, the warden of the penitentiary, after they had arrested us, placed us on a $500,000 bond, and I laid there in solitary confinement in the suicide watch. Because I was in so much trouble, the warden thought that I was going to kill myself. Now let me tell you something about solitude. No clock, no window, nothing but a mattress, no writing materials, no books, no absolutely nothing but a cold steel toilet and an iron bunk with a plastic covered mattress on it. When you are faced in those types of situations, when you are forced to be alone with yourself, how many of us get alone with ourselves sometimes? When you are able to truly, no TV, no radio, no cell phone, when you are, no email, no text messaging, when you are truly able to get alone with yourself, I think you might discover what I discovered. As I laid there in that jail cell, y'all, I couldn't hear no noise. But a pounding came clear to me that I had never heard before. A thump. Boom, 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 boom. And I lay there in that jail cell, and as I thought about all the things that I had presently lost, I mean, here I was, I'm incarcerated, I'm on a $500,000 bond, so that means I'm not about to get out of here anytime soon. The clothing store that I had gotten open, it's about to be closed. We're about to lose our home. I'm about to lose the weekly column that I wrote in my town's newspaper. I'm about to lose the TV show that I had created in my local area. All of these things that I had created for myself, as I lay here in this jail cell, I knew that they were removed from me. But I heard a sound, great ones, that was a sound like nothing I had ever heard before. You know what it was? It was my heartbeat. It was my heartbeat. And I knew that as long as I had the gift of life, I didn't care about that other shit I had lost. I didn't care about this tremendous amount of time that I was facing. I was not as concerned about the road that lied ahead of me, because I knew as long as I had life, y'all, I would have the possibilities to make it a better. As long as you rise the next morning, great ones, you've got an opportunity to make it better. If you want to build a better or healthier body and you eat the wrong foods today, when you go to sleep and wake the next morning, God is giving us an opportunity to make it better. If you don't do well in a class, as long as you wake up the next semester, you got a chance to enroll again. God gives us an opportunity to what? Make it better. If you want to be a better parent and your children piss you off and you pop them upside the head, when you wake the next morning, the child protection don't come get you, you got a chance to do what? Make it better. You got a chance to make it better as long as you got life. As long as you've got life, you got a chance to make it better. So let's look at how we can make it better. Let's look at how we can build value in our own lives. Number one, we got to think about a point that I forgot to tell you earlier. Let me back a little bit. Not only are we beautiful in creating the gift of life, and then coming into this life an original out of 6 billion people on the planet Earth, but something else we got working in our favor that I don't think we give as much attention to as we should. Not only do you come into this life, but God created you to be people of color. Somebody hear me up in here. Well, what does it mean to be a person of color, Fox Rich? You know, they say that means you got 2 strikes against you if you're a woman. You're black and you're a woman. You know, you automatically got a strike against you when you come out and you're black or you're Hispanic or Latino. You know, people just don't view you the same in this mainstream society that we live in. But let me tell you what you've got working in your favor. There is no other race of people on this planet that have endured what African Americans have endured here in this country and can live to tell about it. I mean, look what they did to the Native Americans, great ones. They almost annihilated that whole race of people. But no matter the drudgery, the shame, the hardships, the degradation that black people in this country went through, look at y'all today. Somebody say, speak Fox Rich. Speak Fox Rich. Look at us today. You know, I learned something by going to prison. I learned what freedom really means. When you locked in a cage like an animal and you can't move around, and somebody tells you when you can brush your teeth and take a bath, and when you can see your family, and when you can get your mail, and when you can do every damn thing there is to do. Somebody governs that for you. I know what freedom means. And when I know what freedom means, then it allows me to look back and give a historical perspective about where we are now. We don't have value for being black. We have lost a respect for what it means to be black. There is strength in being black. You couldn't go through 400 years of slavery and segregation and not gain some level of strength as a people. If we don't know nothing else, we know how to make it. We know how to take that end over there and make it meet that end over there without ripping us apart. There is power in our DNA, strength in our DNA that has only come from our ancestry. Can you imagine? I mean, if you reflect back what they went through, and here you are today. I hear us all the time bashing each other about we ain't where we need to be, black folk don't stick together, we don't act like white people, this, that, and the other. All of these comparisons. Number one, I say don't compare me to nobody else. Because white folk ain't been through what black folk been through in America. So ain't no comparison there. The second thing that I look at is they say that we were freed with the Emancipation Proclamation of 1863, right? Y'all follow this carefully. You feeling me? Check this out. They say that we were free with the issuance of the Emancipation Proclamation in 1863. However, many people down south didn't even find out about that until 1865. That's where we came up with Juneteenth at. But let's look at it a little deeper. Since I've been a prisoner now, I know what freedom really means. So I pose a question to you. How free are you if your can't move around? You ain't free at all. So if you do the math, black folk in America really wasn't free until the Civil Rights Act of 1965. That means we ain't been free but 44 years, y'all. If you ain't free to move around, you ain't free. So when you consider the fact that we've only been free in this country for 44 years, I think you got something to be proud of. I think you got a race of people that you can be doggone proud to say that you belong to. I'm the only one up in here. I mean, you talk about a people that were released in 1863 with no provisions, no food, no housing, no clothes, not even any type of, we weren't even considered to be full human beings, great ones. Yes. And now look at us. Even though I don't agree with Obama and what he's doing with Reverend Wright, but look at us. He is actually a formidable contender for the presidency. Look at us. 44 years later. And God forbids if they would have kept in place those things that they owed us, like, you know, affirmative action. Just imagine where we'd be. If we made all that progress in 44 years, just picture, if you will, where we would be.